Hi guys, today we're back with another math video. We're going to be going over the geometry section of the SAT Math. Now, SAT Math has a lot of different concepts in it, but geometry is one of the biggest sections. So today, we're going to be going through some of the most common and most difficult questions that they have on the SAT. I'm getting these questions from official test practices and the official College Board on the SAT. So let's get right into it. In the figure above, if AB is a line, what is the value of y? Okay, so if AB is a line, then what is the value of y? Well, we can tell that this whole entire section here is going to be 360 degrees because it's a circle. So we can also see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 x angles, which means that we can make an equation. 7x plus y equals 360. Well, we don't actually even need this equation because if we first look here, this is the line, which is 180 degrees. A line is 180 degrees. 2x plus y equals 180, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these x's makes the straight angle over there, which is 180. So that means x equals 36, and then we plug x back into this equation and we can solve for y. So this equation is pretty simple. It just comes down to knowing that a circle is 360, line is 180. Not too difficult. Let's move on to the next one. In the triangles above, what is the average arithmetic mean of u, v, x, w, x, and y? So we have a right triangle here and another triangle over here. It's asking us what's the mean of all of these. So let's start with this triangle on the right. We know that u plus v plus w equals 180 because 3 angles in a triangle equal 180. Hopefully you guys remember that. And what we are trying to find is what is u, because the arithmetic mean just means all of these divided by 5. So u plus w plus v plus x plus y over 5. So we're trying to find what this equals. Well, we already know this section, u plus v plus w, which is just this portion right here, the first 3 numbers here. So it's x plus y. Well, we know the right angle over here is 90. So that means 90 plus x plus y equals 180, which means x plus y is 90. X plus y equals 90. And that's the other part of our section right here, x plus y. So that means 180 plus 90 equals over 5. And that's going to be the arithmetic mean, so 270 over 5. Which is just 54. This one is using the properties of a triangle and asking you to connect it to the arithmetic mean. And you guys might feel overwhelmed at first because they're asking you the mean of all these, and you might think, oh, I need to solve for each one of these individually. But really, you just need to know these 2 sections, which they give. So this is another lesson. You need to think outside the box because you do not always need to solve everything individually because sometimes they are just asking for a section. Okay. In the figure above, L and M are parallel. That's what this symbol means. If x equals 80 and y equals 70, what is the value of z? So this is 80. I suggest when you're going through the SAT, just to, if you're physical still, just try to mark everything, and y equals 70, because it will make your life easier. What is the value of z? So we're trying to find this angle right here. So, and we also know these two are parallel, so I'm going to mark it like this, with two little dashes. So this is a very, very common geometry problem relating to angles. Whenever they give you something that is parallel, you should immediately be thinking okay, well, what two angles are going to be the same? What angles are going to add up to 180? What are going to be supplementary, complementary? Because that is essentially a lot of the time what they're asking when they give you parallel lines. And this is the exact same for this. So if these two are parallel, then this 80 degrees here, this must also be 80 degrees right here, because it's a parallel line. And I hope you guys remember the theorem. And so the exact same idea here. If it's 70 at y here, then this must also be 70, because they're parallel lines. So that means, and this is just a straight line, so all of these add up to 180. So 80 plus 70 plus z equals 180. So that means z equals 30. I think this is a decently easy question if you know the theorems, but at the same time, if you do not know the theorems, it can be challenging. But it mainly comes down to recognizing if that it's parallel. And this is one of the most key components they give in this question. Okay. In the figure above, AD, line BE, and line CF intersect at point O. If the measure of AOB is 80 and CF bisects BOD, what is the measure of EOF? So personally, I get very overwhelmed when they start telling me a bunch of angles and lines. So let's just go through this slowly. You can always take your time on these. So it's just saying they intersect at point O, which we can see. If the measure of AOB, so this angle right here, is 80, and CF bisects BOD. So CF bisects BOD. Okay, so we're looking at BOD, which is this angle right here. And it's saying CF bisects it. So that means these two equal the same. Right? So what is the measure of EOF? I'm going to color code this. We're looking for EOF, which is blue right here. So we know these two are going to equal the same, so I'll call them A. Because when something is bisecting the other, that means it splits it equally. So CF is splitting this angle equally into two A's. And we're trying to find EOF, this blue angle right here. So this is similar to the last one. If we look at AD right here, it's a straight line, which means it's 180 degrees. And that means 2A, these two A's, plus the 80 equals 180. And that means A equals 50. Okay. Well, now these two are vertical lines. Let's color code this. Vertical. And vertical lines, if you remember, they're two lines, they're two angles here, and the theorem states that these two will always be equal to each other. So these two will be equal to each other. And that's exactly what's happening over here with A and the blue angle here, which we're trying to find. So if we know A is 50, then the blue angle also must be 50. So that means the correct answer is a B, 50. So it's very helpful to just draw everything out, because it gives you a visual representation, helps you organize all the information they're giving you here, because a lot of the time they give you a lot of information on geometry problems. It's very difficult to just imagine it, so I always suggest drawing a diagram or labeling things. Okay. The figure above is a right triangle. What is the value of 49 plus x squared? Okay. So, if you have no clue what they're asking you right now, or like how we're supposed to, like, what the heck does 49 plus x squared even mean? This should actually be the biggest clue they give you. 49 plus x squared. This is oddly specific, and it's just trying to get you to recognize these two identities here. Because when you're looking at this, you should think, well, are they giving me anything that could potentially look like 49 plus x squared? And they're giving you 7 minus x and 7 plus x. And you can recognize that when you multiply these two together, 7 minus x times 7 plus x, you'll get exactly 49 plus x squared. So that's the first step. And you can also recognize this is actually, these two are squares. So it has to be something multiplied by each other. So these two this equals 49 plus x squared. So it's saying, what is the value of 49 plus x squared? Well, we already know, because this equals 49 plus x squared. Okay, now we have to figure out, what does that actually mean? Well, note that it's also a right triangle right here. So that means we can use Pythagorean theorem. So we can do 7 minus x squared times 7 plus x squared equals 10 squared, right? And you also can notice that the hypotenuse is 10. So if the hypotenuse is 10, there should be something ringing in your brain. 3, 4, 5 triangle. This is one of, if not the most important Pythagorean triples you need to know, and you must remember this. So that means that hypotenuse is 10, and the other legs must be 8 and 6. So since 7 minus x is going to be smaller than this longer side over here, 7 minus x equals, minus x equals 6, which means x equals 1. And we can check that with the other side. 7 plus 1 equals 8. So x equals 1, and we can do 49 plus 1 squared equals 50. So there's a lot of things going on in this problem. It first takes recognizing that what to do with this 49 plus x squared, understanding that it has to do with these two legs over here. And then it comes to understanding, 10 is part of these triples. And there's definitely other ways to solve for x in this situation. But finding the triple here is one of the fastest ways you can do it. But it does take memorizing this triple, and I do suggest memorizing this, as it is one of the most important ones, and you will see it occurring a lot. Okay. That's all we have time for today. Thank you for watching. Please comment down below what you'd like me to see, what you'd like me to answer, what types of math problems you want to see. Comment if you have any questions. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let's make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like these.